what advice would you have for married couples who've been married for 20, 30, 40 years?
Well, if they haven't figured it out yet, um, I always think of kind of two things. One is, especially if they've, well, to be careful with each other. I think that that is one thing that I see happening a lot when it comes to even newly married couples is they get to a place where we're so comfortable with each other that we stopped being careful with each other. Um, and I don't mean fragile way. I don't mean walking on eggshells, but I do mean if I've noticed that I'm treating strangers more politely than I'm treating my spouse, something's wrong. If I notice that I'm treating people at work with more care than I'm treating my spouse, then something's off. That this should be the relationship that I'm being most careful with, because this is the one that matters the most and it's the one that's going to last the longest. So one is just even just simple, just be careful with each other. Second one is if someone has revealed themselves to you, stop waiting for them to change. Maybe I'll say it like a different way. I have found that newly married couples are more patient with the foibles and inconsistencies and wounds of their spouse than couples that have been married for a long time, which I think should be the opposite. On one hand, you might think, well, of course, that by this point they're just tired of it, and they just like, I don't have any patience for you. But I look at that and think, wait, if you've been reminding him to put down the toilet seat for the last 25 years, or if he's been waiting, it's just like, I'm so frustrated. She's always late. She's always running late when we have to go somewhere. Why would you give that permission to stress you out in any way, shape, or form? It's been 25 years. If you haven't learned yet, he doesn't put down the toilet seat. She is always late. If you haven't learned that by now, the problem is not with them. The problem is with you at this point. And so I would say that, yeah, if you're married for a long time, realize this is the person I married, and be able to not just accept, but also maybe even delight in those little idiosyncrasies, those little things that's like, of course, yeah, we're going to be late and I'm not going to let it bother me. Or yeah, the seat's this way and I'm not going to let it bother me, because if this toilet seat up meant he doesn't actually love me, he would have left me a long time ago. And if her being late means she doesn't respect me, then this is the least of my problems. But probably it's just that he is forgetful. Probably it's just that she has a lot on her mind and happens in taking care of everyone else before she takes care of herself. And that's where we're at. And I think there's an element of acceptance of the other person that would bring a lot of peace to couples that have been married for a long time.